What if Naruto was a Mega Prodigy Part 7? Let's go. So Naruto had now just played a huge role in defeating the Root, the quote-unquote evil side of the Anbu in Konoha, merciless, and most importantly, had defeated their leader, Danzo, who was plotting to overthrow the entire village, and kill many people in the process. So, good news. He's now gone. And although the Leaf Village did lose a pretty powerful shinobi, this being Danzo, and he was pretty smart too, they actually gained power in defeating the Root, as this made the chain of command much stronger and closer, as there wasn't two leaders opposing each other, and before, part of the Anbu and shinobi had actually been working against the Leaf and its current leadership. So yeah, taking down the Root had definitely helped increase the power of the Leaf Village. Now, at a similar time, Madara and Zetsu were still cooking up plans, as they had no one to manipulate, though they still wanted to get Shisui on their side as much as possible, as he already had the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and was a powerful shinobi, one of the most powerful in Konoha and probably any village. If they got him on their side, that would increase their chances of winning by a whole lot. They also had a plan to try to destroy the Leaf, or at least weaken it. This was by using the somewhat fragile seal on Kushina, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Now, normally Minato, as well as many other shinobi, and the village itself, would protect Kushina from ever this happening, and she herself is quite a powerful shinobi, so she could definitely support herself, but right now that'd be a little hard, as she was about to give birth. She was pregnant. Yes guys, Naruto's getting another sibling, this time a boy. Naruto's younger brother would be called Menma, but before that could happen, there was some issues. Now, the way that Madara would interfere at Kushina's birth is... Now, the way Madara did this was by controlling a certain shinobi and letting them do the dirty work. But this isn't going to be anybody, well, known, it's just going to be a shinobi. They're somewhat powerful, pretty fast, pretty strong, but nothing extraordinary. Events would go somewhat normal, as in Naruto's canon birth. They would take the baby when it's just born, as Kushina is still very weak, and trick Minato, and then escape with the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki and start unsealing the Nine-Tails. Now, of course, Minato is gonna not like this, and go for his wife. Important to mention, Naruto and Shisui are also there. Now, they couldn't stop the intruder from taking the baby, as he was threatening to blow the whole place up, which would, well, not be very good for Kushina and the baby, who are both very weak. Not weak always, of course, Kushina is very strong, but at this point she had just given birth, so yeah, give her some slack. So anyways, Shisui right now was taking care and evacuating all the people that helped at the birth, and Naruto was trying to heal Hiruzen's wife, who had to help deliver the baby, though she was badly injured. But Naruto, the incredible guy he is, was able to save her. As yes, he does have at least some form of healing jutsu, and whilst he wasn't able to fully save her himself, he was able to bring her to a hospital, well, the hospital in Konoha, and therefore was able to save her life. Then he went on to help Minato get Naruto's mother back, and his newborn brother. Itachi and Kasumi are in the village minding their business, as they didn't think anything special would happen, and it is pretty late at night. So now Naruto and Minato, father and son team, are tracking down the kidnapper of their mother and her baby. And they finally found them, but it's a little bit too late. Minato is in shock as he sees the kidnapper of his wife taking the Jinchuriki's tailed beast by force, and He's almost done taking the Nine Tails, but then Naruto jumps in and severs the connection between the two before he's completely finished taking the Nine Tails, which means that Kushina is able to keep about 15% of the Tails Beast chakra. Minato, not having any time to be shocked, takes the baby and puts it in their home safe and sound. Then, almost in an instant, comes back to the same spot he was just standing in, now having secured the baby. Minato goes to his wife as Naruto's facing off with the kidnapper, and they're about to start fighting. Though then, the kidnapper seems to teleport away, using the body flicker, and so about 500 meters away, the kidnapper is now releasing the Nine Tails chakra on the border of the forest and Konoha's outposts. So, the Nine Tails isn't at its full strength, but 85% still good enough. That's a lot of chakra, as he is the most powerful tailed beast, so it's definitely gonna be enough. Now you might wonder, how is the Nine Tails controlled here if the kidnapper isn't a Uchiha, because he isn't. But the plan was that Madara actually gave his Mangekyo Sharingan to the kidnapper, and at the same time put a genjutsu under him so that he would return Madara's eyes. So basically, the kidnapper took a loan of Madara's eyes. That's Naruto for you. Anyways, so the kidnapper, at least temporarily, whilst not having a good control over the Sharingan, can actually control the Nine Tails with the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan from Madara, and sends it to kill everybody in the Leaf Village and destroy the village. Now Minato is facing off with Kurama the Nine Tails. Meanwhile, Naruto is facing off with the kidnapper, and they have a simultaneous fight, Minato defending the village, and Naruto stopping further damages by taking the problem at its root. Both strategies and both battles are necessary to keep everyone safe, as even if they defeat the Nine Tails, what if the kidnapper has another ace up his sleeve? You never know. So, both of the battles begin at the same time. However, Naruto easily outmatches the kidnapper due to the massive chakra loss he had taken, not only from using the Mangekyo Sharingan, but also from having to unseal the Nine Tails, and basically take his chakra and release it again, which does take a toll on his body. Therefore, Naruto is easily able to annihilate the kidnapper and win the battle, afterwards joining Minato in the fight against Kurama. Here, Shisui is already at the scene, and now they're fighting 3 against 1. The 3 most powerful shinobi in the Leaf Village, and probably the 3 most powerful shinobi anywhere, fighting against the Nine Tails, the most powerful tailed beast. This was truly a battle of legends. Or you could say a battle between 3 gods and 1 devil, a demon. However, Minato was almost single-handedly able to hold back Kurama, though he was fast losing his chakra, as Kurama had much more chakra than any shinobi. But now, with the help of 2 incredibly powerful Jonin, and I guess also Anbu, they were easily overpowering the tailed beast, and were able to deal combo attacks, especially Shisui and Naruto, who were a dream duo when it came to fighting together. They pushed the Nine Tails into a corner, and Shisui was able to release the genjutsu put on the Nine Tails with his own genjutsu, basically negating the genjutsus, as you gotta remember, he also has the EMS, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, so he was able to undo the first genjutsu, making Kurama somewhat tame. This allowed the 3 shinobi to seal the Nine Tails without having to sacrifice their lives for it, as Kurama wasn't really holding back and fighting back any longer. The only problem was, where should they seal it? And Naruto offered himself up as he didn't think much of it, and he would gladly take responsibility if it meant saving people, and saving the whole village as well. Whilst Naruto was still pretty young, he was a heroic child and shinobi, a kind-hearted one. And even though he was very reluctant to seal the Nine Tails into his own son, Minato agreed, and Shisui helped out with a Sharingan, further controlling the Nine Tails chakra, and therefore 85% of the Nine Tails chakra was now inside of Naruto, 15% inside of Kushina. By the way, also Kushina is now at a hospital too, and she will quite easily survive this, as she does have some of the Nine Tails chakra left, which allows her to survive, and her injuries themselves, the physical ones, aren't that bad either, so after a few days of rest, she'll be more than fine. However, the thing to worry about now is Naruto, and how he'll deal with being a Jinchuriki. News spread fast that Naruto, Minato, and Shisui were able to contain the Nine Tails and reseal him into a new, young, and powerful shinobi that could control the Nine Tails. This was none other than Naruto Namikaze. And whilst a lot of the people were reluctant to believe this even, some feared what Naruto might become under the influence of the Nine Tails. However, as the Nine Tails in the story didn't hurt as many people, as Shisui and Naruto were helping and contain the Nine Tails, not that many people died. Actually, only a handful of people actually died, and very few buildings got destroyed. Therefore, the village didn't take that much of a hit. It was more of an emotional hit. So, after a week, people noticed that Naruto didn't really change after having gotten a Nine Tails, so they didn't think much of it any longer. There was no rule to not talk about the Nine Tails, as everyone knew it, so it wasn't a forbidden topic. Naruto's younger brother now flourished as a normal baby, with loving parents, siblings, and familiars. And whilst they were still very young, Naruto and Itachi's younger brother Sasuke developed a very close, friendly relationship too, similar to their older brothers. So now Shisui was the only one without a little brother, and he was missing out on all the fun. Now, Naruto and Shisui continued to have regular shinobi missions, of course still under the rank of Anbu, so very sneaky kind of missions, and they kept the peace between villages and in the entire land of fire. With time moving on, their powers only increased, and their reputations did too. They became living, breathing gods, so young, yet on the power level of Kages. Already at 9 years old, they had students who had now also become Jonin. And on the side note, Naruto had actually kind of developed feelings for someone. And that will be further talked about in the next episode. And her name will be released. Hope you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!